Time for your ABC 36 Storm Team forecast.
Well, a chilly Wednesday across much of central and eastern Kentucky. Afternoon highs essentially hovering in the upper 30s and low 40s. But even with that, we've got showers and even a few rumbles of thunder. Yes, with the air that cold out there late on this Wednesday. Temperatures are going to rise into Thursday morning. Our storm threat could ramp up as well. Active weather pattern stays in place this weekend, and a little hint of wintry weather returning into early next week. Viper radar showing that little cluster essentially along the north of I-64, including Lexington up toward Georgetown. And yes, those are lightning strikes around stamping ground. And we've had some reports of some small hail, even though these storms are elevated, meaning they're a little bit higher up in the atmosphere. Obviously, with the air being so cold, it's easy enough for the hail to reach the ground. It's the stronger winds that typically don't when you have elevated storms, and that's kind of critical for what potentially may materialize as the warm front moves through a little bit later on tonight. But the rain essentially confined to areas along the north of I-64, although there is more out to the west that's going to run across I-65, and there is lightning with a good bit of that. Now, over toward Mount Sterling, it's essentially dry, although the rain will be moving in here shortly. 37, that's it. So it is chilly across the board along the Hal Rogers Parkway and Kentucky 80 corridor southward, finally sneaking into the 60s. But look at the mesonet temperatures, mid to upper 30s, even with the rain and a few storms around. But you see those low 50s down south, and look what's on the other side of the warm front. 60s and 70s. So as that thing arcs through a little bit later on, that's obviously going to allow our temperatures to rise overnight. The low heads toward the Great Lakes, and that's going to buckle the front through here. So this is how it should shake out this evening. Warm front moves northward, so the northern part of the Commonwealth around 9-10 o'clock still chilly, beginning to warm up down south. And during the overnight, some additional development in that warmer sector. That's when we could potentially see a stronger storm or two. The key is there's a little bit of warmer air aloft, which has a tendency to suppress some of the storm development. And again, can we get those down to the surface? That's why it's a little bit conditional relative to the severe threat, but nevertheless, it is there. And then some lingering showers beyond the front heading into Thursday night before we dry it out and cool it off a bit. So there's your severe threat, low end, level 1. Again, kind of everything on the table here. If we do see that come to fruition, highest chance is going to be overnight with the favorite area west of I-75, south of the Bluegrass Parkway. The other part of this, we've got some decent rainfall expected to the tune of 2 to 3 inches over the next few days. And with that, even here in the short term, southern and eastern Kentucky, given the recent snow melt, some rain that we picked up last week, got a flood watch till 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So bigger picture here, I mentioned the break on Friday. It will be brief, because look what happens. We're going to do it all again. Southwest flow, low 60s, more rain and storms into Saturday. So there's your break on Friday. I think that second half of the weekend, we should be in better shape on Sunday. But we talked about the bit of a roller coaster ride. I mean, look at this, 60s and 40s. And then by early next week, that's when we kind of shift the pattern back toward more typical February weather. Couple of waves of energy riding by to our south, one on Monday, and then possibly a stronger one coming up Monday night into Tuesday. And both of those have the potential of maybe producing a little bit of wintry weather across at least parts of the viewing area. So, of course, we'll be focusing on that as we draw a little closer to time. So rain and storms tonight. We're going to be warming up. 57 out the door tomorrow morning, as hard as that is to believe with us being in the upper 30s and low 40s right now. 64, that's probably lunchtime or so, and then the front sweeps through and we cool it down a little bit later on in the extended forecast, and we kind of ping pong around here with the temperatures. Up and down we go. More rain chances into the weekend, a lot of Sunday dry, and then we'll keep an eye on the wintry weather potential with highs into the upper 30s next week.